Hello and welcome. Today's topic is our development of the liver and extrabiliary system. So this liver and extrabiliary apparatus are the part of the foregut. What I mean is this formation of the hepatic bud, which actually arises from the ventral border of the terminal part of the foregut at the third week of intrauterine life. Okay. Now this hepatic bud grows and reaches up to the septum transversum. What is septum transversum? I already talked about in my anatomy videos, you can check those. And at the region of the septum transversum, this hepatic bud divides itself into pars hepatica and pars cystica. Okay, this pars hepatica again divides itself into right hepatic duct and left hepatic duct. Okay, now these two hepatic duct combinedly forms the hepatic trabeculae. Now after formation of the hepatic trabeculae, it separates from each other and connects through the septum transversum again. Okay, now this hepatic ducts gives additional branches to form the bile canaliculi, and mesenchyme of the septum transversum forms the blood vessel and the other special cells of the liver. And the rapid proliferation of these special cells, vitelline duct and umbilical veins all joins together to form hepatic sinusoids, and all these things together gradually grow and forms ultimate liver. So everything about this liver I talked about in my anatomy videos in details, you can check those. Now coming back to this point, pars cystica, it grows and forms gallbladder and cystic duct. Okay, now try to understand, right hepatic duct and left hepatic duct both combines together to forms common hepatic duct. Okay, now cystic duct and common hepatic duct merges together to form common bile duct. Now this common bile duct ultimately joins with the main pancreatic duct in the duodenum. Okay, so this gallbladder, cystic duct, common hepatic duct, common bile duct, pancreas, everything I talked about in my earlier anatomy videos, you can check those. Now you have to understand the development of the pancreas. The pancreas develops from the caudal part of the foregut, and this foregut contains endodermal pancreatic buds. This entire thing develops at the third week of intrauterine life. Okay, now from this endodermal area, ventral pancreatic bud and dorsal pancreatic bud arises. Now this ventral pancreatic bud arises earlier than this dorsal pancreatic bud. I mean, it appears later than the ventral. Okay, simultaneously. Now this ventral pancreatic duct stays distal to the duodenum. Okay, and this dorsal pancreatic bud stays closer to the duodenum. Now by this name you can already understand this ventral pancreatic duct associated with the ventral mesentery and the dorsal one associated with the dorsal mesentery. Common sense. From the ventral pancreatic duct we are getting the head and uncinate process of the pancreas, and from the dorsal pancreatic bud we are getting the neck, body and tail of the pancreas. Due to the rotation of the stomach and duodenum, the ventral part of the pancreatic bud comes to the right side of the duodenum and connects with the common bile duct. Okay, but the dorsal pancreatic bud goes to the left side of the duodenum. So try to understand, the majority part of the pancreas develops from the dorsal pancreatic bud. Now both pancreatic buds merges together at the 7th week of intrauterine life and forms the ultimate pancreas, and all the special types of endocrine cells present in the pancreas develops at the 7th week to 10th week of intrauterine life. Okay, now you have to understand the development of the spleen. At the 5th week of intrauterine life, mesenchymal cells of the dorsal mesentery forms the spleniculi, which is also known as splenic lobules. Okay, now there are multiple splenic lobules which are merged together and forms or fuses together to form single splenic mass. In the inside of this splenic mass, it gets lobulated gradually. Okay, and forms the ultimate spleen. Now along with the growth, the spleen divides the dorsal mesentery into two parts. One is gastrosplenic ligament and lienorenal ligament. Now this lienorenal ligament is also known as splenorenal ligament. Okay, anyway, all these ligament I talked about in my abdomen anatomy videos, you can check those. Rotation of the stomach pushes the spleen towards the left side. Okay, and the hematopoiesis, I mean the origin of the blood, starts at the 8th week of intrauterine life. Now all these things in details about pancreas and spleen I talked about in my anatomy videos, you can check those. So this is the overall development of the adjacent structures of the abdomen. I hope you little bit understand, and see you in my next video. Till then, bye.